Hello, friends. Happy October. If you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, I was here back in January and had big plans to do a monthly video series about working with an interior designer and things that I do on a daily basis and just kind of sharing information with you. And I haven't been on here since January. And the background is the reason why. So I'm going to just give you a brief synopsis of what's been going on. So I uploaded a photo. That's why I feel very like green screen, which I've never done before. So I don't love it, but I wanted to do the video actually from this space, but it's too hot. I live in Tallahassee, Florida, and it's like almost 90 degrees today. And so I'm in the comfort of my own home, but I wanted to have this in the background because we're going to be talking about this space. This is actually, I'm going to scoot to the side. That's my future fireplace. These are paint samples. This is a future built-in cabinet going here. And this is a doorway into a hallway. But I am here today to talk to you about how you choose a color scheme for your room because I'm in the middle of this right now with my own home. So since I did my video in January, which was from my old family room, I'm going to go back and watch it. I have since sold that house. I have moved into my husband's home that he has, and we are actually building a brand new house on the same 5 acres that we're living on currently. Probably about, I don't know, 20, 30 feet from here. And if you follow me on Instagram, I have been doing lots of shares and videos and stories. You can go to my profile, look up the name of the project is Bentley Grove, and you can see what we've been going on. But right now, I have been having to make decisions about paint colors. So that's what all those swatches on the wall are about. And before I could do paint colors, I really had to figure out what my color schemes were going to be for the room because it's much easier to match paint to fabrics than the other way around. So I'm going to be referring to some notes that I have here on my phone. So forgive me for kind of looking over, but I wanted you to kind of understand how we're going to kind of do these videos a little bit. Each month I have planned to come back. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and record the next few months worth and just post them each month. But this month is how do I choose a color scheme for my room is the official title of it. So let's just go here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And we're going to just go back to basics. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So here we have just the basic color wheel. All right, so let's understand some basic color theory. So if you just kind of look at this color wheel here, and a lot of us learned this in elementary school, but if you can kind of see here, I pulled this image off of Google. We have complementary colors. So if you can kind of see how red and the green are across from each other, those are complementary colors. Blue and orange are complementary colors, and purple and yellow are complementary colors. So one of the easy ways to design your room is to kind of pick one of these colors that you might like. So say you're a green person and you're like, but I need an accent color to go with green. Well, scoot across the color wheel and you'll see red, and that is your complementary color. And I'm going to give you some examples of a few rooms using this complementary color scheme. So obviously there's one room here with the white walls. They did a green and red room, but you'll see the red is a little more pinky, a little more maybe even orangey a little bit, but you can see how those look really nice together. And then the other image is an orange and blue room. The orange, you can also see that they did a little bit more of a salmon, kind of a peach color on the walls and did more of a little bit of brighter orange on the coffee table and then shades of blue for the upholstery. So those are very extreme examples of a room using that complementary color scheme and purple and yellow. Now, obviously, most of us gravitate to a little bit more of a neutral color palette. And I am the same way. And that's okay. So if you're thinking, I want to keep things mainly neutral and just want to add pops of color, but I don't know what those colors are, refer to the color wheel. Another way of decorating and choosing a color scheme is what they call analogous colors. So that would be kind of going back up here to this. Analogous colors would be blue, and then blue, green, and then green. So you're kind of going around the color wheel. Orange, red, orange, yellow. So we're kind of picking cool tones kind of going together or warm tones kind of going together. And this room is an example of an analogous color scheme where they used blue, green, and green in this vignette here in this photograph. So hopefully that makes sense. I tend to decorate more in the analogous color scheme. I am a blue and green girl, always have been. I've always loved blue and green. I'm more of a cool color person. And so I've kind of taken that and used that for my own home. So you also want to kind of consider the mood that you want to create in the space. Do you want it to feel bright and airy? Do you want to feel kind of more moody and relaxing? What do you want to accomplish in that space? And I think it also that answer to that question depends on the space itself. To me, I would want my bedroom to be a little bit more calming, a little bit darker colors possibly, and maybe my breakfast room or my dining room to be a little bit more light and airy with a little bit brighter colors. And so today I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing in my family room, and you can kind of see where I'm going to try to do lighter colors in there because I don't have a lot of natural light. I have no windows in that room, and which is the room I'm sitting in, virtually, I guess you could say. You also can look for inspiration. Like nature is a great inspiration. That's where the blues and greens come from for me. You also can use something that you already have, like a piece of art, a rug, a fabric that you want to use, a pillow, whatever it is. Having something to kind of jump off from is much easier to do your color scheme on. If you've got something that you're like, I've been carrying this piece of fabric around in my purse for a year that I found at the local fabric store that I love, use that as inspiration for the jumping off point for your color scheme for your room. Now, if you're a rule follower, and I tend to be a little bit, this is a great little tool to use. And I grabbed this image off Pinterest, which is the 60-30-10 rule. So you pick one color that you use the majority of your room, so 60% of your room. So this is a very extreme example. Again, I'm using more extreme rooms to kind of illustrate my points, but they used white as their main color. So white floors, white walls, white ceilings. So the majority of the room is white. Then they brought in their 30% color. So they're what I'm going to kind of call their major accent color. And that's the dark blue, the navy, which they painted the fireplace wall. And then the sofa looks to have that color. And then their 10% is like what you kind of call the pop of color, and that they decided to use yellow, and it looks like obviously those two chairs are, and the drapery fabric also has some yellow in it. So that's a good, easy way to think about your room. 60-30-10. 60 is usually more neutral. 30 is a color that you really, really like and you want to bring in. And then 10% is kind of that little accent color that you don't love as much, but you still need something else besides just two colors. All right. Let me see my notes. So yeah, 60% is the dominant color, 30% is the secondary color, and 10% is the accent color. That's the technical term, secondary color. And honestly, I will tell you is I like this rule, and I kind of am going to show you how I'm going to be doing this rule in my family room. So it's probably hard to tell, but again, this is the fireplace, and you can see on this furniture plan that we have a fireplace, we have a built-in, and we have a cased opening on the one wall. And to the top of the screen, that goes out to a staircase and to our backyard. Over on the other side, behind the sofa, there's a big cased opening that leads into my kitchen. And then the cased opening, the large case opening there behind the two chairs, that leads into my dining room. So my family room is in the very center of the house, and there's technically no windows in that room, but I've got a lot of windows in the kitchen and the dining room that bring in some natural light. So it's not super dark, but in the evening time, when there's not a lot of natural light is in there, it does get a little dark. So these are the colors that I am using in my room. So my 60% color is going to be neutral, which is what's going to be on the walls. My floors are wood floors, so they're going to be brown, neutral, and my sofa is also going to be more neutral. And then blue is going to be my secondary color. And I'm going to be bringing blue in with the upholstery and the rug, which I'll show you. And then my accent color is that green. I actually am painting my kitchen cabinets that color green or something very similar to that. I've got a sample here that I'm going to hold up for you in just a minute when I get back big again, my image. And so I want to bring in that color, but not that to be my secondary color because there's so much green in the kitchen. I want that to be just my accent color in my family room, not my secondary color. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let me stop sharing and see if I can get back big again. There I am. So I'm going to hold up the samples here in front of me because if I hold them over here, they tend to disappear because it's this green screen effect. So let's start with the rug. So this is the rug or a rug I'm considering. I haven't pulled the trigger on anything quite yet, but it's hard to tell, at least from what I'm seeing here on my screen, but the rug is got a neutral background and then there's hints of darker green and a lighter blue in the rug. So my rug's going to have a lot of pattern. It's going to have some color, but more muted. I like this kind of antiqued look to this rug. It looks worn and rubbed, which I'm liking. I'm a very, very traditional girl. This house is very traditional in the overall design of it. The architecture is traditional and the interior is going to be traditional. So here is the rug that I'm considering. It's not very soft, so I'm not 100% sure. But let me show you my cabinet sample. So let's see. I have to hold it like this. All right. So you can see this is the green that I showed you on the previous slide. So this is what's going on all in the kitchen. So this is what I'm going to call my accent color. All right. My 10% color, even though it's probably the 60% color in the kitchen. My sofa is going to be neutral, like similar to something like this. So again, part of my 60% is my sofa. And then I love this fabric here. I'm not sure if the pattern is big enough for me, and it's really hard to tell on the screen, but this has lots of threads of neutral, blue, and green in it. And I'm considering this fabric or something like this for the two swivel chairs. That if you remember, there's a sofa, there's a pair of swivel chairs by my dining room, and then I have a third chair kind of over in the corner. And the third chair is what I'm going to do, just kind of a solid light blue on. So I'll bring in some more blue for my 30% color. And then I'm just going to show you this plaid I think is really cute and will most likely be something like this on my sofa. And so you can kind of see it's majority neutral and it brings in my blue and my green. Let's see if I can hold all this up. I mean, this is really challenging me today, but hopefully you get the picture. And let me just say for your house, I have noticed that we've invited a lot of people to come look at our house while it's under construction, mainly family members, and everybody has an opinion. But you need to trust your instincts for your own home. Choose colors that make you happy, that reflect your personality, that you love. Don't be afraid to break those rules if it works better for your space. Just be creative. Try to do your best to do things a little bit outside of the box. I'm trying that myself. It's hard sometimes, especially for your own home, to do things that are a little bit outside of our comfort zone. And I'll be sharing some of those choices, those more bolder choices with you later. I think the green cabinets is a bold choice. In my old house, we did white cabinets, and I really went back and forth on that for this house. But I always love blue and green. I think that the darker green will always be in style, at least for the next 20 or 30 years that we're going to be living in this house. So that is stepping outside of my comfort zone for sure. So I thank you so much for watching this video. If you've got questions, please post them in the comments. I promise I will be back in November and December with more videos. And if you subscribe to my channel, I think hopefully you'll get notification when I post a new video. So again, thanks again for your time, and I appreciate you being here.